What is going on? This is Shangodiac, aka Real Deal Ray. Welcome to the Sagittarius Shangodiac for March 23rd. Okay, March 23rd, man. Before we get started, like, share, subscribe, and thrive. Like, share, subscribe, and thrive. And if we forgot to mention your like, share, subscribe, and thrive, trust me, lick that like button, crack to crack, and all the way back. It really does help the channel. It's the least that you could do if you appreciate the way that we're trying to serve you and the videos that we're bringing in, the content. It really helps the channel. So, excuse me, be sure to all over that like button, okay? And let's see here. This particular episode of the Shangodiac is also brought to you by, first and foremost, of course, Brujas, Boras Quantum Bruja doll. Now, we've surprisingly, this has actually been a very hot seller so far. I am extremely surprised. Thank you to everyone who has ordered Bora. Some of you, if you watch some of the other Shangodics I just filmed a little bit ago, you'll hear her sewing in the background. So the factory Reiko is the factory of Reiko is in full effect, and we are busting it out. Okay, but one of the things that people have been wanting to use this for is to also assist them in their, how can I say this? Their self-deification rituals, okay? Because now you have an objective form of yourself that you can actually hold, okay? So you can also use this for what is called lower magic. So, for example, your finances, for protection and fortification, whatever it is that you want to use it for. I call them lower level ones because eventually you got to get past from magical workings. The highest magical working, of course, is to change yourself. You can also use this doll as a tool for self change, also for healing. The list goes on and on. Okay. The other thing that we got popping right now that just dropped, and I feel it's extremely important, is what is known as the Rona ritual. That's right, the COVID-19 ritual. The basis for that is there is an abundance of energy right now that has been generated and cultivated through the use of fear. Okay, now conspiracy theories and all this other stuff aside, the fact of the matter is this energy is here and it is now. And each one of us, you can feel it when you walk out of the house. You can feel it when you walk out of the house. Okay, the trick is to be able to funnel it, to purify it, refine it, and recycle it and channel it into your workings. It is here. You'd be a fool not to use it, and you'd be an even bigger fool to allow this energy to keep being used against you. So I'm not claiming to have the way, but I definitely have a way. So there's a video that we just released a little while ago called the Rona Ritual Protocol, in which I give you the key concepts and ideas that you can use on your own to do this. Okay, I give you the ways that you can do this, or at least the protocol, the ideas and the concepts. It leaves it open for you to fill it in with your own creativity. Okay, no, or you can choose to get the official Rona ritual of power. Okay, because that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with power, energy. All right, so if you are doing your own rituals and your own workings and you want to juice all these things up, now is the time to tap in to the power that's available. Okay, the forces, the 1%, or the ones that rule this particular, I don't even say rule, but I guess you could say more in control of certain faculties here in this 3 dimension, the 1%, they are using the energy. That's why they're even causing this. They have this thing where they cause it, they get the attention of the whole world, and they can activate the whole world basically at the same time, reptilian brain, and get all these emotions going. That's all power. Okay, so you don't want to be left behind at that. I definitely suggest that you utilize this power. And if you don't know where to start, the official Rona ritual is a good place to start. If you already know what you're doing, it's still good to get your copy of the Rona ritual, because you can use it and adapt it. This is chaos magic, okay? This is chaos magic. We're in chaotic times now, and chaos magic is what's popping, okay? So without further ado, I done spoke long enough. Let's get down to the Sagittarius Shangodiac, okay? Some of you Sages now, obviously, and I know why, we're all in this situation together, collectively, I guess you could say, on one end, but you don't have to. It's like you can be in the world, but you don't have to be of it. Okay, now the reason I'm telling you this, Sag, and believe me, this is out of all the Shangodiacs, this is the one that I'm more about because I incarnated under this particular sign of Sagittarius or whatnot. Okay, so I can see here that there's a lot of worry going around right now. Okay, some of you Sages even have your name popping, maybe not so advantageous way, maybe amongst family or friends that you're still actually communicating with right now, because I know a lot of us are more or less choosing to kind of stay indoors. Some parts of the world are on actual physical lockdown where you cannot actually be walking around. Where I'm at is not the case, although we are highly and strongly encouraged. Um, there are, of course, rumors of martial law and all this other stuff. There's probably rumors of that where you're at too. But the worry is definitely kind of fucking you up. That's why it's showing up in this reading. Now, what we have here, this lady has been popping up in a lot of my different readings. I did a Corona Shangodiac about a week and a half ago, or maybe a week ago. This was one of the main cards. I highly suggest you check that video out. But this also represents knowledge of self, yo. Like really going within, really going within, and it sounds easier to do. It's not actually hard though, you know. You may find it challenging just because your mind's habitual thing, and most people's minds are like that, so don't take it personal, but as far as being able to just slow down, to change your brain wave frequencies from beta. Think of it like this: you got beta. That's your waking brain wave state right now that you're listening to me. Below that, you have alpha, which is like a really good relaxation when you kind of just spacing out, but you feel good. Maybe almost kind of feel like you're floating a little bit. Then there's theta, which is even deeper than that. Theta is almost where you almost don't know whether you're sleeping or awake. You're in that in between, like right before you kind of fall asleep. And then, of course, you got delta, which is, that dream state. And then you also have gamma, which is kind of more a rare, I guess, I don't want to say rare, but this particular brainwave is a very, very powerful brainwave. Gamma, you know what I'm saying? But my point is, I don't know where I'm going with this shit, but now is the time to go in, okay? This is a very lady. This is like that dark goddess energy, man. I can't get away from it. And even the state of the world right now, it's like I'm certain that there has been portals open for this chaotic, primordial, chaotic energy. You know what I'm saying? This divine, dark, feminine energy. And when I say dark, I'm not talking about evil. I'm talking about, most of the universe is comprised mostly of dark matter. Um, as human beings, we don't understand dark matter. We don't understand why the planets stay where they're at when gravity is based on mass. But what's keeping shit in place? Dark matter. Dark matter is where the real power is at. Just like even that's on the macro level. Okay, on the micro level, the power is located in your dark side. That which you want to keep suppressing, that which you want to keep ignoring. That's where the power is at. You know what I'm saying? That closet that you have in your mind that you just shove everything in, keep closing the door and hoping nobody opens this and nobody will discover this, and you maybe even put a lock on it. Try and keep it. But feelings buried alive never die. Okay? She's behind this all. You're actually being urged and called to go within. Many of you are going to have a lot of time to do so. I've been telling you, I'm going to tell everybody that I do a Shangodiac for. Now is the time to start practicing. Okay? I don't care if it's 5-10 minutes, a couple times a day. You're going to have time. Where the fuck you going to go? You know what I'm saying? So And to top it off, what kind of just actually complements this is this. This is that Eight of Spades. And this Eight of Spades is all about spiritual power, spiritual empowerment, also, especially right now in the way it's coming through for you. Because many of you may just, in fact, lose your job. The company that you're working for may just, in fact, not be there. You know, when you woke up a week or two ago, you could never foresee things happening so drastically and so fast. Okay? This is all about, you know what this eight is also about too? Adaptation. Now, I don't know what kind of a Sag you are, but I'm a highly adaptive son of a bitch. Okay? I've had to be for a lot of my life. And if I had to say one thing that's my greatest strength, it's my adaptability. Okay. Yes, I like to get into routines. I like to get in my little comfort zone, but there's always something that comes along and kicks me in the ass and gets me out of there. Okay. I've had to live a very adaptive life in so many ways, on so many levels. It's not even funny. I used to wonder why me. Now I'm like, hey, you know what? This is one of my greatest superpowers. Underneath this is the Jack of Spades. Jack of Spades. Jack of Spades. Who the fuck remembers that song? If you remember that song, you a G. You an OG. Okay. From I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. All right. Jack of Spades, though. One thing you can always count on with the Jack of Spades is creativity, a youthful type of energy and vigor. Okay, this can also be talking about physically. I see some of you Sages are actually going to begin to start really sticking to your fucking workouts finally. That's great. You know what I mean? Now, I got to say this. Many of us are not actually locked down. We can go places. It's just that a lot of the places that we used to frequent, restaurants, clubs, gym, all this other shit, everything else is closed down. But I do see for some of you Sages, you need to be careful. I've noticed an influx, and I've had to question myself, like, what in me could be attracting certain things right now? Because I've noticed an influx of motherfuckers that you want to crack their head open, or just different incidences that you could allow yourself to, like, go full blast and beat the shit out of somebody or something. You know what I mean? I'm not, besides the supermarket and people acting like rabid wild animals, okay? But I sense that some of you Sagittariuses are going to meet you a troublemaker. Now, depending on the situation, I would suggest that if you can, you just circumvent right now. You gotta like, you gotta keep your priorities and things like in mind, okay? Because you can still get arrested right now, okay, wherever you're at. And right now, with the climate of the world, with the climate of consciousness right now, and just everything going on, you don't want to create more problems for yourself, okay? So if you can circumvent something, do that. If you need to defend yourself, then you take that motherfucker out, okay? Straight up. No playing around, no questions, no nothing. All the way to the white meat. Split their head to the white meat, man. You heard, okay? Some of you are going to know about what the hell this card is about because you're going to be commenting, yo, man, it was just for, like, I don't know what it is right now, but I'm sure some of you can also feel it. Like, there's just this weird fucking feeling. Like, the weirdos are just kind of popping up everywhere. I've noticed. Well, for me anyway, I've seen. All right. And finally, this is a funny card though. Look, I was looking at this particular Joker, right? Look at the cannonball being shot out. This was the backup card for this, okay? So some of you Sagittarius may be able to cultivate a greater emotional control of yourself. That's who you need to control, okay? Right now, it's all about self-control. Okay, so you need to control yourself. A big part of that is your emotions. If your reptilian brain and your primal emotions are allowed to be activated and you start acting like a rabid wild animal, for one, you're easier also to control by the powers that be. Okay. And if the powers that be, hypothetically, do want to enact martial law, it's my opinion right now that right now is a big, huge test. It's almost like being in a relationship, and the first argument, one partner is really kind of like abrasive or kind of aggressive to another. And then it's like the next time is more and more and more. You know what I mean? It's like that's what they're doing, it feels like. Now, I do feel also that something very big is also about to happen. And I feel like more than likely, I do feel like things are going to go somewhat back to normal. There's never going to be a normal anymore, though, from what we used to consider our normal lives. Even if everything kind of seems to come back, you're going to remember this time. This is going to be in all of our psyches to some degree. And like I said, it's kind of like conditioning, if you will. I've called it the slow boil. You've heard the analogy or the story of the frog. If you throw a frog in boiling water, it'll jump right out. But if you turn the heat up slowly enough, you can cook the frog before he knows that he's cooked. You have been cooking yourself with your emotions. So this is also that. But this is also a time to create greater harmony, more intimacy, emotional wise, a better relationship emotional wise with your family, with your loved one, and things like that. Don't let your Sag temper, out the fucking do that to you. Okay, so let me see. I'm trying to see if I can glean anything else here that can be of value to you. Um, and yes, even in this climate right now, somebody still might be trying to throw at you. Magically, that is. Somebody might be trying to give you these magical hands. You know what I'm saying? That's also what this means. Not for all of you, but there's definitely some of you right now. Doesn't matter what the hell's going on. Somebody still got it out for you and they still want to on you. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening. Okay? Let's see what else here. Yeah, that's about it right now. But this is showing me here your ability to actually manifest and settle out certain circumstances so they work out in your favor. This is also overcoming. And like I said, adaptability is the key word here, okay? So I know I went a little over here. Peace and blessings to all my Saggies, man. Stay blotting out the sun with your arrows.